Nestled behind the fading grandeur of this unusual Venetian palace, recognized by the names Palazzo Dario and Ca Dario, lies a narrative steeped in enigma, adversity, and the shadows of a chilling past. Constructed in 1479 as an expression of gratitude to the city by the affluent merchant Giovanni Dario, this Gothic-style palace, with its captivating asymmetry, has become a theater of financial ruin, maladies, peculiar mishaps, and premature demises, weaving a tapestry of misfortune that spans centuries and echoes through its hollowed halls. Reverberating with whispers of being the most haunted structure in Venice, and carrying the weight of an age-old curse, the mysterious tales surrounding this palace invite us to delve into its chilling history, where the supernatural and the inexplicable intertwine. Join me on this exploration as we unravel the perplexing mysteries and unearth the eerie events that have cast an indelible shadow over one of Venice's most infamous landmarks. Before we begin, I want to remind everyone that viewer discretion is advised. The origins of Ca Dario are deeply embedded in the historical and economic ties between the Republic of Venice and the East. The city's flourishing trade with Constantinople, the capital of the Eastern Roman Empire, faced a turning point in 1453 when Sultan Mehmed II conquered the empire after an 8-week siege. This marked a downturn in relations between Venetians and Turks, leading to 26 years of devastating wars that crippled the economy of the Republic of Venice. In an effort to restore peace, the Senate dispatched Giovanni Dario, a distinguished merchant, notary, and ducal secretary in service to the Republic. By the late 1470s, Dario successfully negotiated a peace treaty and secured highly advantageous economic agreements along with the Republic's trade routes, earning him the title of hero and moniker Savior of the Homeland. The Republic in gratitude bestowed upon him a noble title, land, and a substantial sum of money. In a gesture of gratitude towards the city, Giovanni Dario enlisted the esteemed architect and sculptor Pietro Lombardo in 1479 to craft an opulent palace along the Grand Canal. The construction lasted until 1489 and is an exquisite testament to flowery Gothic architecture, which seamlessly intertwines Renaissance elements, asserting its presence as it gazes over the grandeur of the Grand Canal. The facade, jeweled in a lavish array of polychrome marble, weaves an aesthetic tapestry reminiscent of the illustrious Ca d'Oro Palace, standing as a testament to the timeless allure of Venice's architectural grandeur. There is an inscription in Latin on the palace's facade, which translated reads, "John Giovanni, patron of the city." It stands as a testament to Dario's homage and thanks to Venice for his accomplishments. Unfortunately, as lavish and beautiful as Ca Dario Palace is, something sinister seemed to develop shortly after its construction. Giovanni Dario didn't get to spend too much time in his new home. Even in old age, he was frequently sent away on diplomatic work. Eventually, Giovanni Dario lost influence in his twilight years, but passed away under natural circumstances. Upon his death in 1494, his daughter Marietta inherited the opulent palace of Ca Dario. Marietta went on to marry a man by the name of Vincenzo Barbaro, who was from a well-known merchant family living in Venice. Some of the rumors of Ca Dario seem to have started when it was alleged that Vincenzo had a financial downfall that culminated in his fatal death. Marietta, hearing the news, then allegedly met a tragic end through suicide by plunging into the Grand Canal. However, there is much evidence to say that she passed away at the age of 39, which wasn't too shocking for 16th century Europe. Unfortunately, one of their sons did meet a tragic fate when he was ambushed and killed during a military campaign. The singular architectural allure of Ca Dario stands in stark contrast to the alleged unsettling fates that befell its previous inhabitants, earning it the ominous moniker of the Cursed Palace. The curse of Ca Dario was born. A haunting pattern emerges as some future proprietors not only met violent ends through murder or suicide, but also spiraled into destitution, succumbing to financial ruin, attributed to their ownership of this ill-fated property. Dario endured within the Barbaro family until the early 19th century, when it changed hands, first to Arvid Abdol, a precious stone merchant who promptly lost his fortune, leading to the palace's sale. Following his fall due to bankruptcy, the mansion changed hands frequently, marked by misfortune and a series of eerie events. The perceived curses associated with Dario persisted to the present day. Legends and speculations abound, attributing the misfortunes to a variety of sources, including claims that the palace was constructed in a Templar cemetery, or negatively influenced by a talisman on the neighboring palace's water door. Some believe it to be a convergence point for forces of obscure origins, while others suggest sinister events on the grounds of the previous building. Persistent rumors also assert that the spirits of past owners still inhabit Dario. Superstition surrounding the palace runs so deep that many Venetians actively avoid Dario, circumscribing it by navigating the Rio Terra dei Assassini. Some even report experiencing a peculiar sense of unease merely passing by or gazing upon the enigmatic structure from a distance. Thus, a palace born out of gratitude has become a haunting presence, steeped in mystery and enduring superstition. After Abdol's ownership, subsequent owners faced a litany of financial woes. Rawdon Brown, an English historian, purchased the palace in 1838. He spent most of his funds at the time refurbishing the palace, but had to relinquish his acquisition within 4 years due to insufficient funds for upkeep. He sold the property, and the palace passed through the possession of a Hungarian count and a wealthy Irishman before falling under the ownership of Isabelle Crombez and her associate Augustine Bolteau. The duo hosted the illustrious French poet Honoré de Reynier for around 2 years until his return to France due to a severe illness. Honoré did recover. However, the palace must have left an everlasting impression on him in the end. Dario eventually found itself in the hands of the American eccentric business magnate Charles Briggs, who fled Venice amid accusations of a lifestyle that the locals didn't approve of. Tragically, Briggs, after relocating to Mexico, lost his lover to a violent demise. Thus, the intricate history of Dario unfolds, weaving a narrative of architectural grandeur, entwined with the persistent specter of a misfortune and tragedy. The ill-fated connections with potential buyers seem to extend beyond the mere realm of ownership, as if the very essence of Dario harbors malevolent forces. A notable example is the renowned tenor Mario del Monaco, whose journey to explore the palace in 1964 culminated in a severe car accident, temporarily halting his activities. The incident prompted him to abandon the idea of purchasing the palace, succumbing to the ominous rumors that swirled around the building. In 1968, Dario subsequently fell into the possession of Count Filippo Giordano del Lanza. He won an auction as the highest bidder and moved into the palace shortly after. In 1970, Count Giordano's tenure within the walls proved to be very tragic, as he met his demise at the hands of Raoul Blasic, a Croatian sailor. The housemaid found the Count on the floor in his bedroom, dead in a pool of blood. It was later found that his head had been struck multiple times by a silver vase. Blasic, implicated in the gruesome act, sought refuge in London, but ultimately faced a brutal end. In the early 1970s, shortly after the Count's death, the managerial prowess of Christopher "Kit" Lambert, the manager of The Who, proved insufficient to shield him from the curse. Despite Lambert's public disavowal of belief in the curse, he was very familiar with it and found it fascinating. After he moved in, he eventually changed his mind, and not for the better. Kit faced financial turmoil, exacerbated by drug use, leading to strained relations with the musical group. Throughout his stay, Lambert insisted he was plagued by spectral entities he claimed haunted the palace. He sold it in 1979, and a few years later passed away in 1981 from a cerebral hemorrhage after falling down a flight of stairs. Fabrizio Ferrari, a Venetian businessman, purchased the property after Kit. Fabrizio had a sister whom he was quite close with, and she became the victim of a deadly car accident shortly after purchase. He passed away 3 years later in the throes of ruin and legal troubles. The illustrious financier Raul Gardini took ownership of Dario in the mid-1980s, yet his time within its walls was marked by a crisis, followed by severe judicial scandals, which became widely known as tangentopoli. This scandal led to the suicides of many involved and concluded with Gardini's own enigmatic suicide in 1983 in Milan, Italy. Woody Allen, actor and director, drawn to the romantic and melancholic charm of the building in the late 90s, toyed with the idea of purchasing it but ultimately refrained after hearing rumors of its terrifying curse. The bassist of The Who, John Entwistle, ventured into the ill-fated realm of Dario in 2002, renting the palazzo for a holiday in Venice. Tragically, a week after his return, he succumbed to a heart attack, exacerbated by a dose of cocaine, despite enduring a prolonged battle with heart issues. In the year 2006, the ownership of the property underwent a significant shift, passing into the hands of an American company acting on behalf of an undisclosed buyer, setting forth on a dedicated journey of meticulous restoration. Presently, the palace stands in a state of eerie solitude, its halls echoing with the haunting silence, holding within its walls the mysteries of its past and the untold tales of a bygone era. Some Venetians still insist that the curse truly exists. However, some more skeptical individuals assume that the stories have possibly been embellished over the decades and centuries. No one knows for sure, but the legends of the curse seem to outweigh the skeptics' claims. With an enigmatic history spanning over 5 centuries, marked by a perplexing array of deaths, eerie accidents, and a consistent trail of financial misfortune befalling its successive owners, Dario has earned the ominous title of Venice's Cursed Palace. Is the palazzo haunted by tormented spirits of the past? Or does it house darker supernatural forces we may never truly understand? Whatever the cause, Dario remains shrouded in ominous mystique, certain to continue chilling all who hear its disturbing legacy. If tales of curses, unsolved mysteries, and paranormal accounts intrigue you, be sure to let me know your thoughts on the strange fate of Dario's inhabitants through the centuries in the comments below. If you find my content interesting, please feel free to like and subscribe and click the notification bell, so you never miss a fascinating and terrifying saga again. Until then, see you in the next one.